Self-directed education is also important. There are things that children learn there that they can't learn in school, and they need time for that. That's the main thing that I do when I'm trying to influence other schools. Now, so far, what I've been able to do through the organization Let Grow, a nonprofit organization, Lenore Skenazy and I were two of the founders of it. We're working with schools. We've had very little effect in getting them to shorten the school year because there are state laws that requires at the state level. Very little effect in getting them to reduce homework and so on and so forth. But one thing we have done is we've convinced quite a number of schools to open up the school for free play before school or after school. So that some schools now have what the school calls Play Club, which is an opportunity for children of all ages at the school. This is usually elementary schools, kindergarten through fifth grade, all playing at once, using the outdoor playground, this gymnasium of the school, the hallways of the school, maybe the art room, maybe some other rooms that have games and puzzles in them. There might be 150 kids all playing at once, either for an hour, either before school or after school. And this has been enormously successful. It's given children an opportunity for free play. It's given teachers an opportunity to watch children in free play and to learn about children's abilities that way. And it makes the teachers a little bit more playful in the classroom because they see the children now are, and they see how happy the children are when they're playing. The children now have a better attitude about school because they see it as a place to play and not just to do these other things. So even without changing the curriculum, this has had a beneficial effect on the schools that have done it. When I talk to the teachers and superintendents of schools that have adopted Play Club, I tell them that the teacher's job when they're monitoring Play Club, because the school requires it, there be somebody watching, an adult watching, one or more adults watching, to make for safety purpose. I say, you are there like a lifeguard at an ocean beach. You're not there, you're there just for real emergencies. You're not there to solve little quarrels among the children, to tell them how to play better, to cheer up a child who looks unhappy, to get upset, do anything if somebody skins a knee. You're just there to save a life if it looks like a life is in danger. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not much. And then I even say, if you think it's a real emergency where you have to intervene, if possible, count to 10 first, because most often the kids will resolve it themselves. And a major purpose of play is for kids to learn how to solve problems themselves. So even to my surprise, the teachers follow this, respect this, and they are discovering how brilliant the kids are at solving their own problems when they don't step in, especially when it's an age-mixed environment, because you've got kids ranging from 5 to 11 years old, and sometimes the 11-year-olds will step in and solve a little quarrel between the 5-year-olds, and say, hey, and this is a far better learning experience, both for the 5-year-olds and for the 11-year-old, than would be if a big adult stepped in and using the authority of an adult said you have to stop doing this. So those are the things I've done. Now, go on a little bit more. I have also witnessed schools, even within public schools, that have tried to bring more self-directed education into more self-directed capacity into a public school where where the basic curriculum of the public school can't be changed, because you can't change that. The law is requiring that you cover these particular subjects. So there's one school in Boulder, Colorado, where a number of years ago, the principal of the school had read my book, Free to Learn, And he called me and he said, "Well, what can we do?" I agree with what you're doing. I agree with what you're saying, but I can't. The law doesn't require me to turn my school into a school like the Sudbury Valley School. Are there things that I could possibly do? And so we put our heads together and came up with an idea that I thought maybe would work. And so they developed a school within the school. The kids who are the kids who want to be in this school within the school have to opt into it. They can't be assigned into it. And the teachers who want to be the teachers in this school within the school have to opt into it. So these are people who want to do this, and the parents obviously have to agree to it. You can't just put the kids into this alternative school within the school without the parents' agreement. And so they had me out there to talk to the parents to tell them why this wouldn't be a disastrous thing for their kids. Might even be a really good thing for their kids. So this thing got started, and basically the way it works is the following. So they have all the typical courses. So for example, if they might have a civics course. But in the civics course, instead of the teacher deciding on the textbook, deciding on how the kids would be evaluated, the kids who are in this course uh, with the teacher present, have a discussion about what they would like to learn related to civics. What are the lessons that would be interesting to me, relevant to me, related to civics? And they work it out and choose some readings, and generally they decide they'd like to do it together rather than each person do something separately because they like the idea of discussion and sharing what they're doing. So when I went back after the school had been in effect for a few years, I visited. I say the physics civics course because that's the one I happened to listen into. And here were a group of young people who were not only reading about American civics, American political history, and so on and so forth, but they were doing field research related to the city of Boulder. How does the city work? They were interviewing the mayor. They were looking at the city council. They were talking to people about how the city works, and they were writing papers on it. This was on their own initiative, and they clearly had more enthusiasm about what they were doing. They still had to pass some kind of a civics test because the school required it, which drew a little bit of time away from what they were doing. But they were much more interested in the course. Every one of them that I talked to, I tried to get their honest opinion. Is this working out for you? They thought, great.